गुड मॉर्निंग भाइयों। मैंने परसों वीडियो डाली थी एक, उसमें बोला था कि आपको विद प्रूफ दिखाऊंगा। फैमिली के साथ 1-to-1 मीटिंग, 1-to-1 बात होएगी। क्वेश्चन पूछे जा रहे हैं फैमिली से कि 1x कैसे मिलेगा, क्या है करके। सारे जो क्वेश्चन है वो सारे इंग्लिश में पूछे गए हैं, जो भी है। अगर आपको समझ नहीं आता तो आप कमेंट में मेरे को हिंदी में लिख के बोल दें, मैं हिंदी में आपको इसका वॉइस ओवर कल कर दूँगा। वरना जिसको समझ आ रहा है वो देख लीजिए वीडियो। 1-to-1 बात हुई है, सारे क्वेश्चन पूछे गए हैं कि कॉस्मोस का क्या है और हाइपरवर्स में कैसे एमओएफ विड्रॉल होगा, क्या करके, कोई केवाईसी करने की जब भी विड्रॉल होगा या नहीं होगा। सारी की सारी A to Z उन्होंने बातें पूछी है। फैमिली ने सारी की सारी बातें का जवाब दिया है, ऐसे होगा नहीं ऐसे होगा। ठीक है, तो आप इस वीडियो को ध्यान से देखिए। मैं वीडियो चालू कर रहा हूँ और लाइक ज़रूर करना। तुम्हारा भाई इतनी मेहनत करता है, लाइक के लिए करता है, एक लाइक ज़रूर कर देना।
Going through the questions, initial questions. And guys, just as Sam said, you know, it is a big deal. It's a breakthrough that we've got Sam here. This is someone that we've been showing on presentations for the last 2 or 3 years, and we've actually got him here with us. So Sam, thank you so much for making yourself available. And also, as Sam has said, even though we had to wait for him, he's going to give us ample time. So apologies for starting late, but he's here for us. So AJ, do you want to start going through the questions? We'll just go through one each, yeah?
Yeah, cool. I'll kick it off. Hi, Sam. My name's AJ. So I'm going to just start with the first question. So when were you first aware of the issues in Hyperverse, and why have you decided to come forward now?
So I'm aware of the issues because, of course, what I've been doing at Hyperfund was generating returns, right? Whether it's for a LP or, you know, a community, which is what the membership management company is, right? And you know, what you guys interpret as corporate, right? I've made it fully visible in the sense that we've generated outsized returns that beat market conditions, right? We're talking about, you know, when we started Hyper, it was $5,000 a Bitcoin. And then, you know, at the peak of valuation of Bitcoin is 60,000. So we beat market conditions, and you know, I thought there was plenty of money to go around, but that unfortunately, for whatever reason, did not reach membership, right? And that is when, you know, of course, I started to question and ask for transparency. I didn't get that. But unfortunately, because we operate such a large organization, and of course, key people at the top are key, I guess, how should I put it? You know, friends of mine, right? You know, these are guys who, you know, I ate with and bled with for, you know, the last 2-3 bull bear cycles. Right, and they always came through. You know, these are honorable people. So, you know, when this all of a sudden happened, it caught me off guard, and I unfortunately needed to give them enough time to deal with this, to drive a outcome that would be acceptable. And they made promises to you, made promises to me, and you know what? I'm still hopeful that they will do the right and honorable thing. So I'm supportive of whatever they are doing because I'm sure they have good intentions. But the thing is, even if they have good intentions, there needs to be a plan, and there needs to be transparency of that plan. And given that I've waited around long enough for that visibility and transparency, and it has not come through, I'm here right now and broadcasting to the community my intentions to move forward with the industry and with the community.
Thanks, Sam. The second question is, which you've answered somewhat, is can you tell us why did the payout stop back in February, March last year? Why did the payouts to the members stop?
I unfortunately don't have visibility on that because even though as technology providers, we develop export, and they then deploy, right? So you have to understand my visibility to what is liable and what is owed, and how big the community is not with me. That is just matter of fact, right? And that's the thing, right? I'm here because I don't have all the answers. If I have all the answers, we would have negotiated a solution long ago.
So it sounds like there's your department, and then there's the department of them running the company, and you've not had visibility into the whole picture of what's going on. Would that seem fair to say?
I don't think there is any ill intent in them not giving me visibility, but the fact is, you know, waiting for market conditions to improve is not a solution, because market conditions can, you know, not improve for a very long period of time, and the community needs answers, you know, and not only answers, they need solutions. So you know, I've never had a situation where I've broken any contracts, right? And the outcome of those contracts are always somewhat positive in an industry that allows you to issue and create new forms of value, right? So you know, in a shorter form, right? We're in an industry that prints money. How could you not make money, right? How could you not make money for a community? I just don't understand, right? So I've always delivered, and it just is unfortunate we're in a situation where I don't have the visibility to continue to deliver, because you know, I have delivered in Hyperfund, but that hasn't gone to membership for some reason.
Okay, AJ?
So currently, so where are the billions of dollars that came into Hyperverse, and can they not be used to give people their 1x back?
So again, you know, I run, you know, two things, right? A technology company and a funds management company. So the funds management company has delivered, right? You know, so I don't understand why membership is not being paid out. You know, that's a big question mark for me, right? In terms of you know, how I see this moving forward is, I need to, on your behalf, pressure some visibility out of corporate, and I think that's already happening. And that's already happening. They are in a position where they are trying to find solutions, right? Given how I am now being very upfront with you guys, and you know, I'm under NDA, so I can't share everything with you guys, but it is enough information for you guys to make decisions on how you guys want to act moving forward, and that gives an enormous amount of pressure to them to align with the community.
Thanks. Next question. Do you have any idea of the scale of the problem? How much is the 1x total?
No, and that's why I've reached out to the community to begin this discovery process.
Okay, and are we safe to assume, I'll answer this question, AJ, because they're linked. Are we safe to assume that people's 1x is still priority, and is anything above that available?
That's a promise by corporate. I obviously have not made that promise, and I have delivered returns. So, you know, it is up to us to really work together, first to define what 1x is, and then deliver, right? And that is, again, a promise by corporate, right? If it was me at the head of the ship, I could have made a very different decision, right? But at the end of the day, a decision cannot be made by me right now because of the lack of visibility.
Okay.
Okay. Any view on how long it will take for people to at least receive the 1x?
No, I have no visibility.
Okay. Let's ask the next one.
You go for it.
So there was a recent article that was on Medium. Just basically, was that a genuine article regarding Hyperverse? I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I've asked the question, but I only have one board meeting a month with corporate, and you know, in that board meeting, it's always just about their delays, right? It's like, you know, what's supposed to happen this month becomes next month, right? I mean, it is because I am disheartened by, you know, how slow things are moving. That is why I'm here to reach out to everyone and produce a solution. Because you have to understand, right? A real business has contingency plans to be successful in a bear market, right? You just don't say, oh, let's wait until the market recovers and then deal with it, right? So the objective really now is to get some visibility on that. And the thing is, if I get visibility, I'm able to help them, right? But right now, you know, I can only try and get some visibility by applying indirect pressure through the community. By being in front of you guys, I think we've already begun the process of doing that.
AJ, you might as well carry on with the next question as well.
So I've lost my train of thought here.
Number 6.
So it's just, can you clarify the relationship, if any, between HyperNation and Hyperverse / the Hypertech group, please?
So Hypertech is a technology company. Excuse me. Hypertech is a technology company. I've always stated that in every single media release and press release and video. You know, and as a technology company, we're responsible for driving the adoption of blockchain. You know, and that has happened. But of course, what people do with that technology is, you know, you know, let's put it this way. Blockchain will drive a more transparent and equitable future, right? But that needs to start from transparency between you and me, right? And somehow along the way, because I have trusted people to deliver, and I still want to believe that they will deliver. I still have hope that they will deliver, right? But you know, because it's relying on a third party, you're relying on a third party, I'm relying on a third party, it is no longer in our hands, right? And I don't want that to be ever the scenario moving forward.
Okay, and just the relationship between HyperNation and Hyperverse?
I don't know.
As in the relationship, so does HyperNation also sit under the Hypertech group, or is that a complete separate entity?
We provide technology. We use outdated database to test the technology, right? And therefore, as a technology provider, we make fees from that technology, right? But ultimately, we're under NDA. So there is very little visibility I have access to really do anything, because we're using outdated databases. Like, we only have, you know, a test data of 10,000 users, you know, and I'm pretty sure the hyper community is much larger than that.
Yeah, okay. Harinder?
Sam, question. What funds do you have access to that are in your visibility that can be used to pay people their 1x back? And if so, what amount?
So that's also under NDA, but there are some funds, right? And that's not reached maturity. I'm in a position to, I'm legally obligated to hand those funds over. You know, that's a matter of fact, right? But you know, if the community gives me visibility, then I could, you know, potentially withhold those funds to at least do something, right? But at this point in time, right, without your support, I'll have to just, once these funds reach maturity, hand those funds over.
What do you mean by reach maturity?
Well, you know, our fund structure is 3+2, so it's a 5-year fund, you know, but you could early, you could have an early exit at the 3-year mark. It's pretty common, especially in the crypto world, right? Because the bull market comes roughly once every 3 years. So we'll be able to create a nice exit for our investors every 3 years.
When does the 3-year total finish? Does the 3-year total finish?
It finishes at the end of 2023.
Okay. Next two questions left. Hypernation has got people in masks, Mr. H, and he seems to be discussing very similar values to Ryan Yu. How Ryan Yu came across in the next blockchain. Is Ryan Yu heading Hypernation?
So I'll just say my point of view. I always believed in creating education, and that is why, you know, I came on the journey of doing this with an affiliate marketing model, right? So I always believed that educators should be rewarded, right? Leaders should be rewarded for bringing more people into this industry. So what you guys have done is nothing short of spectacular. But more importantly, I always believed in things being deployed in the following order: education, regulation, and innovation. If you innovate first without regulation or education, then you're probably in a situation where you're building something that nobody cares about or wants, right? And so, you know, it's just a similar saying back in 2008 when, you know, I was working at an ad agency, right? And you know, it was a common joke around the water cooler that, oh, let's just create an app for that, right? There's an app for that, right? And now it seems like 15 years on, there's a blockchain for that, right? Blockchain is not supposed to be implemented everywhere and anywhere. The objective of blockchain is to build trust and transparency. But first, it has to start from us. So in terms of Hypernation, I believe that it is one of the solutions that members are driving to create an outcome with corporate. And corporate is in a position to drive an outcome. But the problem is, I'm not involved. So I don't really have that much else to say that could give you visibility of who Mr. H is, etc.
But do you know if Ryan Yu is heading Hypernation?
I don't know.
And the last question before we hand it over to the audience is, where is Ryan Yu? Why is he not coming forward?
Well, where is Satoshi? Why is he not coming forward, right? You know, look, I just wanted to, I guess, give Ryan Zhu, you know, who is a co-founder of many of my companies, he's a visionary, and he performs very, very well in a bull market, right? He comes up with great ideas that really, you know, it's like hitting the ball out of the park, right? I did not even know where that came from, right? But the problem is, I've always done everything with him transparently, right? I'm not saying I don't trust him. No, you know, I trust that he will do the right thing, but, you know, I want to do things front and center with full visibility of regulators and say, this is what I'm doing. You have to understand, my history in this industry is I accidentally convinced a whole bunch of very normal people to buy Bitcoins from 2010, 11, 12, 13, right? And all of a sudden, when Bitcoin went from cents to $10, and in 2013 went from $10 to $1,000, a lot of us became retardedly wealthy, right? And the government of Australia, which is the country we lived in the middle of nowhere, right? It just had to ask, is the money that we made legitimate? And the thing was, no one was willing to deal with them. I was willing to deal with them alongside some key legal experts to create the first regulation in this industry and say, look, you know, treat this as a lottery ticket. We won the lottery, and now let's pay some taxes. So yes, I guess there's a bunch of libertarians, you know, in the crypto space that really don't enjoy the fact that I introduced the first tax into this industry, but it is the step in the right direction, right? The objective is the government needs their share so that we're able to, you know, be looked after by the facility that, you know, the government provides in terms of infrastructure.
Okay, Sam, thank you so much. That wraps up the generic questions. We're now going to, AJ, we'll do this together because it's quite a few. We're going to go to the audience now. And if you want to ask a question, just raise your hand. And just to remind you, because there's quite a few people that have questions, please don't take it personally if we suddenly mute you. It's just because we've got to give people an opportunity to ask questions as well. And then you can come back around the circle and ask your question. So if you've got a list of 6 questions, please only ask one. And then you can work around as well. Let me go to gallery. Okay, so let's go with the Aranga. And AJ is timing this, guys. So apologies if you suddenly get cut off. So keep your questions very short and sweet, and then hand over to Sam.
Thank you, Sam, for reaching us. Very quickly, you know, you did refer to corporate. Who is corporate? This has always been an issue for us. We thought you were part of corporate as well. So who is corporate? And also you did mention about you want to work with the community, you want to work with us. So what exactly do you expect from the community to move forward and, you know, ideally recover the 1x and, you know, do more?
I am under NDA still. The answers I have for corporate is quite limited, but I am on the board of corporate, you know, but the access to the right level of visibility can only happen if I'm majority on the board. You know, this is just standard company structures, right? It's just, I'm not able to twist and turn and, you know, I've tried that, didn't get any answers, and that's why I'm here. Right, to give you guys a level of visibility so that we're able to move forward, right? And if we're moving forward in multiple directions, that's fine as well. But at least, you know, I am putting my foot on the ground and saying, this is where I stand and this is where I would like to move forward from.